The numbers dropped and the room changed. A shirt is more than fabric at Barcelona. It's a ledger of expectation, a map of legends, and tonight that map has new borders. When the club released its first official squad for the 2025-26 season ahead of the trip to Saint-Moi, it felt less like a logistics bulletin and more like a manifesto. Yamal, once a dazzling footnote in pre-season, has been handed the hallowed 10, a digit woven through the club's greatest myths, and with that single reallocation, a fresh narrative begins. Can youth inherit myth? At the same time, Marcus Rashford's arrival will be tracked not only by his runs and finishes, but by the number on his back. The 14 he's set to wear is rich with its own history, a nod to Cruyff's tactical revolution and Thierry Henry's audacity, and it turns a lone move into a symbolic statement. There's also a quieter but no less electric reshuffle at the heart of the squad. Joan Garcia's registration and the decision to list him with the 13 shirt marks an abrupt shift in goalkeeper dynamics, an answer to an injury and a tactical choice that reshapes the pecking order between experienced hands and newly signed talent. Meanwhile, Pubasi stepping into the 5 once vacated by a departing veteran is a moment that ties continuity to reinvention. A young defender wearing a number that conjures solidity and leadership, asked now to translate promise into presence. The club has patched and painted a face for this team with every numeral. Iñaki Peña appears listed with the number 1 temporarily, a placeholder until further registration work completes, while Wojciech Szczesny waits in the wings to reclaim his expected place on the roster. Not every slot is closed. A handful of numbers remain empty on the sheet, reminders that the transfer window and La Liga registration rules still have the power to surprise, to delay, to force creative accounting and patient optimism. For fans, this is theatre and logistics braided together. Reactions range from ecstatic, a rising star given the 10, to cautious as supporters ask whether headline signings can be registered in time and whether the symbolic ballast of certain numbers will help or haunt their wearers. But beyond clickbait and hashtags, there's a real managerial thesis visible in this list. A coach and front office trying to balance heritage with the present moment, elevating academy talent while still integrating expensive expectation-laden arrivals. The numbers are shorthand for risk and for faith. They say where the club thinks its centre of gravity must lie this season. Tonight at Saint-Moi, those stitches of symbolism will become movement. Will Yamal's 10 become a badge that births confidence or a weight that cramps instinct? Will Rashford's 14 translate into the goals and finishing that paid for his move? Can Joan Garcia steady the goalkeeping spine while registrations shuffle behind the scenes? The answers will be written in passes, saves, and the tiny weather of attitude on the pitch, yet every time a player turns his back to reveal a digit, the story widens, each shirt a small prophecy about who the club wants to be. This roster drop is more than administration, it's a dare. As Barcelona walks out in these numbers, fans will watch to see whether these new identities are proof of bold planning or a first act of a season of adjustments. Either way, the opening whistle won't only start a match, it will start the public test of a club trying to reframe its future with nothing more and nothing less than the numbers on their back.